Google just dropped Gemini 3 Flash globally, and it's already the default model powering the Gemini app. And Google search for millions of people. This isn't just another incremental update. We're talking about a model that matches pro-level performance at Flash speed and cost. And honestly, the benchmark scores are wild. Let me give you the numbers because they matter. Gemini 3 Flash scored 90.4% on GPQA Diamond, which is a PhD-level reasoning benchmark. It hit 43.5% on Humanities last exam without using any tools. And here's the kicker, it scored 81.2% on MMMU Pro, actually beating Gemini 3 Pro on that benchmark. These aren't small improvements. This thing is outperforming the previous 2.5 Pro model while running 3 times faster. So what does this actually mean for you? If you're a developer, you can now build applications that think like Pro but respond like Flash. Video analysis that used to take forever, done in seconds. Complex data extraction, lightning fast. The model can handle massive context windows without losing track of what matters. One demo showed it processing 1,000 comment pull request thread and finding the one critical issue that needed fixing. First try, no back and forth. The multimodal capabilities are properly impressive too. You can throw a video of your pickleball game at it and get technique tips. Upload a sketch and have it guess what you're drawing. Record audio and get detailed analysis or even generate a quiz from it. It understands intent better than previous models, so it's not just spitting out text responses anymore. You're getting visual answers with images, tables, interactive elements that actually make sense. For coding specifically, this is where things get really interesting. Gemini 3 Flash scores 78% on SWE Bench Verified, which tests actual coding agent capabilities. Companies like Cursor, JetBrains, and Figma are already using it. Google showed off building a full 3-dimensional voxel simulation of the Golden Gate Bridge in a single prompt using their Gemini CLI tool. Previously, that level of complexity needed Pro models. Now Flash handles it without breaking a sweat. The efficiency gains are mental. Google says the model can modulate how much. It thinks during heavy processing, using 30% fewer tokens on average compared to 2.5 Pro. That translates to lower costs for developers. We're talking 50 cents per million input tokens and $3 per million output tokens. Slightly more than 2.5 Flash, but you're getting performance that rivals or beats 2.5 Pro. Let's talk about what this means in practical terms. Say you're running a customer service operation. Previously, you'd need to choose between fast responses with decent quality or slower responses with great quality. That trade-off is basically gone now. You can handle complex customer queries with nuanced understanding at the speed users expect. The model's better at following instructions too, so you spend less time engineering prompts to get the output format you need. The context window improvements deserve more attention. Gemini 3 Flash can handle up to 2 million tokens of context. That's roughly 1,500 pages of text or about 90 minutes of video. But it's not just about capacity. The model maintains coherence across that entire window. You can feed it multiple documents, ask it to cross-reference specific details, and it actually finds the connections. I've seen demos where developers throw entire codebases at it and ask architecture questions. The responses are scarily accurate. Google's also pushing hard on latency. First token time is under 200 milliseconds in most cases. That's the difference between an interaction feeling like you're waiting for AI versus having a conversation. For applications like coding assistants or real-time analysis tools, that responsiveness is everything. Nobody wants to wait 5 seconds staring at a blinking cursor. Here's something interesting about the training. Google trained this model on a mix of text, images, video, and audio simultaneously. It's not multiple models stitched together. It's genuinely multimodal from the ground up. That's why it can do things like watch a video of you cooking, understand your technique, spot mistakes, and suggest improvements in real time, or analyze medical imagery and explain findings in plain language that patients can understand. And this isn't locked behind some developer tier. Right now, today, if you open the Gemini app on your phone or use AI mode in Google search, you're using Gemini 3 Flash. Google's making their most capable efficient model available to everyone at no cost. Developers get access through the API, Google AI Studio, the new anti-gravity platform, Android Studio, Vertex AI. It's everywhere. The timing of this release is fascinating. OpenAI just launched their O3 model focusing on reasoning, and Anthropic's pushing Claude 3.5 Sonnet hard. Google's play here isn't to win on pure reasoning benchmarks. They're saying we can give you 90% of the capability at a fraction of the cost. And response time. For most real-world applications, that's actually the better choice. Not everyone needs the absolute best model. They need the best model that fits their latency requirements and budget. Think about education use cases. A student can now upload their lecture notes, practice problems, and textbook excerpts. Then have an extended conversation about the concepts. The model can generate practice questions, explain solutions multiple ways, and adapt its teaching style based on what's working. Teachers are using it to create personalized lesson plans by feeding it curriculum standards and student assessment data. This level of educational support was technically possible before, but not at a speed and cost that made it practical for everyday use. Content creators are going to love this too. You can feed Gemini 3 flash hours of your old videos and ask it to identify your most successful content patterns, suggest new video ideas that match your style, or even generate thumbnails and titles based on what's worked historically. Marketing teams are using it to analyze competitor content at scale and find gaps in their own strategy. The speed makes iterative work actually enjoyable instead of painful. Here's what I think is really significant. The AI race between Google and OpenAI is becoming increasingly binary. And Google just made a massive distribution play. OpenAI launched their GPT 5.2 model last week. And Google's response was to put a competing model in the hands of millions of people overnight through their core products. That's the advantage of owning search and having billions of users. The real test will be whether Google can maintain accuracy at this scale. Pushing AI this aggressively across products is bold, but it needs to actually work well for normal people doing everyday tasks. Early reports suggest it's handling everything from trip planning to complex educational concepts without issues. Bottom line, Gemini 3 Flash is genuinely impressive. Pro-grade intelligence at flash speed and cost, rolling out globally right now. If you're building with AI or just using it casually, you've probably already experienced an upgrade whether you realized it or not. The AI wars just got a lot more interesting, and Google's betting big that speed and distribution will win out. We'll see if that bet pays off.